is one that stuck with me over the years, and I believe now is the perfect time to tell it. Heavy is set in the 1970s in a working class neighborhood. It's based on the true story of a 500-pound black man who becomes the de facto father of 2 white boys while their racist, drug-addicted mother winds up in the hospital. As the series unfolds, he calls the boys his sons and guides them through a world full of racism, addiction, poverty, while shouldering the impossible task of keeping their mother sober. I'd like to introduce the cast. The action will be read by myself, Collette Legault, as well as a couple of small parts. Heavy Pixley is to be read by Akishi McCoy. Eric Caparulo is to be read by Noah Pizik. Janet Caparulo to be read by Sophie Druin. David Caparulo is to be read by Brian Douglas and also reading for the part of Duger. Arlene to be read by Karen Wilson. Augie is to be read by Dennis McCory, who's also reading the part of Jake. Chris Duger is to be read by Brian Douglas. And Royce is to be read by Sean Shannon, also Pastor Carlson. In this particular scene, it's 1977. The boys, Eric and David, meet Heavy for the first time. We also get a taste of Janet's love affair / battle with drugs. And we see Heavy's nemesis, a local drug dealer, disregard a warning from Heavy to keep kids out of his business. And we end with a bit of backstory on how Heavy and Janet meet. So, do I just start?
Yeah, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, terrific.
Awesome.
Interior apartment living room. Eric and David see Janet in her typical pose, ass on the threadbare couch, head squashed down on the coffee table, wearing yesterday's clothes. One hand holds a burnt out cigarette.
Harold Brady's home.
Eric walks to the sink, fills a small saucepan with water, turns the knob to light the stove, puts it on to boil. David takes a thick phone book off the kitchen table, grins before he drops it on the floor with a boom. Janet gives an irritated moan, pries her sticky face upward and pushes herself up to sit, stretches and yawns.
Coffee.
David grabs Super Sugar Crisp cereal from a nearly bare cupboard. He empties the box into 2 bowls.
Yeah, water's boiling.
I love you.
Janet walks to the cabinet, takes out the cat food.
Time to feed the rat pack.
She opens up the apartment door and shakes the box. Several stray cats show up and crowd her. She shakes food into an old Milwaukee beer case box and crouches to pet them.
Hey, Frankie and Dean. And oh, Sammy, you scrappy little shit stain. And Babs, you slut. Oh, good kitties, I got you.
Janet gags, runs to the railing and pukes over the edge. Interior kitchen. Eric pours a cup of water on his cereal and then on David's.
Breakfast of champions. I'd rather be eating cat food.
Janet closes the door, wipes her mouth on her sleeve, and flips the light switch. She lights a cigarette, pours a cup of coffee.
Got my first paycheck yesterday. We'll be out of this shithole soon.
A thump, laughter, and Spanish mumbling from next door. Janet jerks her head, springs over, and pounds on the wall.
Shut the hell up, you goddamn pork chops!
She sits back down, slowly.
Hey, why you gotta call them that, Mom?
Because they're goddamn Puerto Rican parasites who live off my goddamn taxes. Get fat like pigs while the rest of us starve to death.
Another thump and laughter from next door.
Motherfuckers!
She springs up.
I like pork chops.
Janet enters Eric's room, mumbling profanities, opens the crusty window. Janet leans out the window, yanks apart the antenna wire for the TV next door. Janet returns to the kitchen, stands at the table, and smokes.
I'd rather stab my eye out with a fork than be on welfare. Over my dead body before I take a handout.
What about the free lunch program? Isn't that the same thing?
It's not welfare. Welfare is for people like them.
Puerto Ricans?
Yup. Blacks, too.
She gags, nearly pukes.
Which reminds me, an old friend is driving you to school today.
Eric and David exchange glances.
Who is it?
Just someone who's doing me a favor. Car's broke, he's fixing it.
Can't you call Dad?
Honey, your dad's a useless Guido cooch who can't take care of his own family, let alone fix a car.
Janet gags, a rumbling motor's heard and a horn toots.
That's your ride. Hurry. Go get dressed.
Eric and David run off. Exterior porch moments later. Eric and David wear torn toughskins and sneakers. Eric checks his dad's Rolex, too big for his wrist. Janet zips up their worn, puffy coats.
How do you know him again?
From when I was young. He's a big guy, but don't be scared. Aside from all that fat, he's all right. Don't kick anyone in the nuts today, okay?
But
I know. He asked for it. You keep going, you'll never make it to sixth grade. Go on.
Janet kisses them and nudges the boys along. They trudge down the stairs, staring at the looming Pontiac Grand Prix parked in the dirt driveway. The driver's side weighed down. They stop midway and look back up the staircase to Janet.
Go on.
Eric and David reach the car. The weighty door pops open. Music like the Commodore's Superman plays on the 8-track. Heavy grins from behind the gut-skimming wheel. His massive body poured into the car. He wears a red sweater, blue jeans, and a greasy Boston College hat.
a black guy.
Huh?
You're on mute.
Hey, boys. Heavy Pixley. Come on in. Car's warm.
Heavy's rolls of fat take up more than half of the seat. He lifts his gut, pushes the seat forward. David climbs in back, eyes on Heavy. Eric slides on the duct-taped front seat. His feet stick in 6 inches of fast food wrappers. Eric and Heavy stare at each other. Both boys are uneasy. Heavy waves up to Janet. Her face softens. She waves back, giggles to herself, walks inside. Heavy turns up the heat. Eric pulls the door shut with a thud. Heavy looks at David.
You must be David.
He reaches into a full bag on the floor next to Eric's feet, hands David an Egg McMuffin. His eyes light up.
Wow, thanks. I'm
Eric shoots David a dirty look.
not really that hungry.
Thought you boys might want a little something.
Heavy hands a sandwich to Eric.
And you must be Eric.
Eric lifts his palm to Heavy.
No, thanks.
Okay. I was going to tell you a joke about eggs, but it's not all it's cracked up to be.
David almost laughs. Eric is stoic. Heavy shrugs, takes a bite of the sandwich, turns up the music, and drives. Heavy drives to the Hopbrook Elementary School. He sings to the radio while the boys are silent. Eric sneaks glares at Heavy from the front seat.
Nice watch.
It's my dad's. What kind of name is Heavy anyway?
A nickname my brother gave me when I grew into this colossal mountain of strength.
Eric shoots him a dirty look.
Underneath this flab is Fab Boy.
Heavy pulls up to the school, puts the car in park. Interior of Heavy's car.
Can I ask you, are you like Fat Albert or something?
Heavy's eyes bulge and his lips purse shut. His body rocks, shaking the car. He laughs so hard and loud it consumes the car. He can barely catch his breath.
Come on, David.
Eric and David exit the car, slam the door. Heavy drives off with the music cranked.
Hey, hey, hey!
Interior methadone clinic, same day. Janet stands at a window half covered with plexiglass. Arlene, 30s, black with a no-nonsense attitude, sits on the other side, a tray with half-full Dixie cups of orange liquid methadone beside her.
There's someone else I can talk to? Place like a damn prison.
Nope, I'm it.
Janet rolls her eyes.
Fine. What difference does it make if I drink booze? Junk's my problem. Why do I have to give up booze?
Because, Janet, we've been through this. They're both depressants, and methadone can dangerously magnify the effects of alcohol.
Don't sound so bad.
Janet cracks a smile. Arlene doesn't.
Sure, if you like dizziness, fainting, and heart palpitations. It's only been 2 months. Give it time. How's your support system?
What? Seriously?
The people around you. Haven't seen you at many meetings. You staying away from bad influences?
You sit back there like it's a freaking cakewalk. I got dealt a shit hand, and if it wasn't for my numb fuck of a husband, I'd have a decent life. Could have been a singer, like Streisand.
Arlene can't help but crack. Janet rolls her eyes, takes her dose, hands the cup back.
Think you're better than me? God owes me for all this shit life dumped on me. You don't know shit.
Janet turns to leave and trips on the rug and swears. Exterior parking lot of abandoned business in the afternoon. Duger leans up against a brick wall, confident. He's working on two 15-year-old boys with skateboards. To the right, another associate, Augie, 20s, tries to look nonchalant. Elwood Royce, 33, cunning and cocksure, pulls up in a cherry red 1975 Thunderbird. He looks like the kind of guy who was bullied and is now addicted to plaid and young girls. Duger's confidence fades as he waves the boys off. They skateboard away.
Everything cool?
You knew?
Yeah.
We're cool as long as he's happy. If not, you're on your own.
The car stops in front of Duger. Royce is driving. His Swedish vowhun and soul twin, Duke, sit in the passenger seat. His 15-year-old girlfriend sits in back wearing a parochial school uniform, chewing gum. Royce steps out of the car. Duke follows. Duger hands Royce a wad of cash from his pocket. Royce takes it and smiles. Oh, your audio's not coming through, Sean. It doesn't say you're on mute. Maybe take off the headphones? I'm not sure. Try again.
Augie, my man, any problems?
Augie hands his cash to Royce. He's chill. Royce nods.
No, all good.
You got any new recruits for me?
Nah, man. Been busy moving product.
Royce looks to Duger.
3 more, ready to go.
Oh, you see that? That's respect. Don't look like you got any right now.
Duke gives a fierce bark and a growl.
Sorry, I'll work on it. Can you call off your corgi?
Royce laughs, calms Duke, and puts an arm around Augie. Augie is confused and apprehensive.
Well, you knew, so we're cool. But that is not a corgi. He's a Swedish Valhund. He was a runt, and they were going to put him down, so I took him. And now he's my faithful Duke. Don't insult him by calling him a corgi.
Augie nods, unsure.
Now, I told you that I need young blood to expand.
Sir, why kids? I mean, I got a cousin that...
Royce bitch slaps Augie on the side of the head as if it's a joke. Augie, stunned, holds his head.
I already told you. No jail, just juvie. It's less risk. Okay with you?
Yeah.
Good. Nice to have you on board.
Duke growls on his stubby little legs. Augie steps back.
You see, it's about loyalty. Duke's loyal. Duger too. He never lets me down, right, Duke?
Duger nods, unsure if it's safe.
Good.
Just one little problem. Heavy Pixley. He's trying to run me out of Union Square. Says no kids, neither.
Royce's girlfriend stands by the open car door. Honey, I gotta go or my parents will freak. Royce waves her off.
Union Square is ours. Do what you have to. There's nothing that fat fuck can do.
Duger nods. Royce walks back to the car, waves his girlfriend into the back seat, and opens the front car door for Duke. Interior, Jake's junkyard, same day. Heavy enters the greasy front office carrying the parts from his trunk. Jake, 50s, fills out paperwork at the counter. Shelves behind him are cluttered with used car parts.
Got a few things the owner don't need no more.
Heavy plops them on the counter. Jake checks out Blue.
Too bad for him. $15.
Stuff is worth 4 times that.
When it's new, 20.
Heavy stares at Jake as if he knows better.
Fine. 25.
Jake sticks the money in an envelope and hands it to Heavy.
Putting it towards the garage?
None of your damn business.
Jake grins and nods his head. Interior, St. Margaret's Church of Naugatuck, same day. Heavy enters the empty church. The hymn, You Are Mine, plays softly. He walks to the poor box, but Pastor Nick Carlson, 40, a handsome white priest, pokes his head out from the partition by the altar.
Heavy? Is everything okay?
He straightens his collar, hair disheveled, walks to Heavy.
For the halfway house, Pastor.
He holds up the envelope from Jake's.
You running laps back there?
No. I was just dragging some boxes with adornments for Palm Sunday and Easter. Got a little carried away.
You want some help?
Heavy tries to look, but the pastor steps in front of him.
Oh, no, but thank you. Why don't I see you here for services anymore?
Honestly, pews ain't built for a cat like me. I'm good in the Lord's eyes. My way of giving back.
Heavy hands him the envelope.
Catch you later, Pastor.
Heavy exits. A tall, beefy black man in his 20s appears from behind the partition, tucking in his shirt. Exterior, Jones Road, empty building, moments later. Heavy pulls up to an empty warehouse with a tattered for-lease sign. A Red's Garage sign dangles off one hinge. He looks out the window at the shop, takes a deep breath, and exhales. Grabs a Big Mac and some fries, only a matter of time before the dream of his own business is realized. He strokes the weathered rabbit's foot. Music, like James Brown, I Got That Feeling, plays on the 8-track. Flashback, exterior, neighborhood street, 1963. 16-year-old Janet glows in her pedal pushers and a tied-up white shirt, stranded on the sidewalk. Her bicycle has a warped tire that she's trying to straighten it with her hands. 17-year-old Jimmy works on a car nearby with 2 white friends. He's tall but only slightly husky, dressed in a work shirt with Jimmy sewn on the pocket, yet to live up to his future nickname of Heavy. Heavy. He sees Janet and approaches.
Looks like you need a hand.
Janet looks at Heavy and then his friends.
No, I'm good. I can walk it home.
She pushes her bike, the front wheel drags. Heavy smiles.
You ain't getting far. Let me see.
Heavy uses a wrench and removes the wheel.
Why are you helping me?
Because you need it. Might want to tend to your knee, too.
Janet sees her scraped up knee, looks for something to wipe it with, and Heavy hands her a handkerchief.
Here, it's clean.
Janet takes it, dabs the blood, and begins to relax.
Thanks. Jimmy. I'm Janet.
Hi, Janet.
You live in this neighborhood?
A couple of streets over.
Wow.
Well, what?
Just kind of funny. You living in Swede Hill?
My grandparents lived here and worked in the factories before the Swedish ever did.
You don't care that you seem to be the only Negro family in town?
He remounts the straightened tire and adjusts the screws.
Don't matter to me. Got family and good friends here.
Heavy sees the rabbit's foot on the basket of her bicycle.
Don't look like that's brought you much luck today.
Janet removes it from the basket and hands it to Heavy.
Here, take it. Maybe it'll bring you some luck.
Heavy takes it, a little off guard. His heart is warmed.
A pretty girl like you want to escort home?
Janet's father, Einar Severson, 38, coming from work at the factory, drives up holding a beer and a cigar and a scowl. What the hell are you doing?
I had an accident with my bike and he helped me.
Enar deadpans Heavy but speaks to Janet. What'd I tell you about talking to good-for-nothing people?
Dad!
Get your ass home now before I call the cops.
Hey!
Enar pulls the car up ahead and waits for her to leave.
I think he likes me.
They laugh. Janet turns so her dad can't see.
Guess I'll see you. What school?
No, took over for my dad after he died. I'm more of a hands-on guy anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. See you around?
Hope so.
She mounts her bike. Enar drives away. Janet waves to Heavy, who waves back with the rabbit's foot and a hopeful grin. End flashback. Heavy strokes the rabbit's foot one last time and drives away. End scene.
Wow.